Have you ever felt trapped between two worlds? One where your dreams shine bright in your mind, and another where your body refuses to move toward them? If you've ever called yourself ambitious but lazy, this ancient story might just shatter everything you thought you knew about yourself. Let me tell you about Kenji. In a small village nestled between mountains, there lived a young man named Kenji who possessed an extraordinary gift. He could see possibilities that others couldn't. While his neighbors saw a barren field, Kenji envisioned a thriving garden. While they saw ordinary clay, he saw magnificent pottery. Everyone in the village agreed. Kenji had more potential than anyone they'd ever known. But there was a problem, a big one. Kenji never did anything about his visions. Days would pass as he sat beneath his favorite tree, dreaming elaborate plans, but never taking a single step to realize them. His family grew frustrated. His friends gave up encouraging him, and eventually, the village labeled him exactly what he feared most: lazy. One autumn evening, a traveling merchant arrived in the village. This merchant was different, weathered by journeys, eyes filled with quiet wisdom. When he heard about Kenji, he didn't judge. Instead, he sought him out. "I've heard you're ambitious but lazy," the merchant said, sitting beside Kenji under that familiar tree. Kenji sighed. "It's true. I have so many dreams, but I can never seem to start." The merchant smiled. "May I tell you a secret? Those two cannot coexist." Kenji looked puzzled. "You see," the merchant continued, "true ambition isn't just wanting something. It's wanting something so badly that you're willing to be uncomfortable to get it. What you have, my friend, isn't ambition. It's fantasy." The words struck Kenji like lightning. "Fantasy is comfortable," the merchant explained. "It lets you live in a perfect world where you've already succeeded, without any of the messy work. Real ambition, it burns. It makes you restless until you act. It wakes you up early and keeps you up late. It doesn't let you sit still." "But I'm afraid," Kenji finally admitted, his voice barely a whisper. "What if I try and fail? At least now my dreams are still perfect." The merchant nodded knowingly. "And that's exactly why you sit under this tree. You're not lazy, Kenji. You're terrified. And fear dressed up as laziness is still fear." He stood up, preparing to leave. "Here's the truth. Every master craftsman, every successful merchant, every person who built something real, they all started by ruining their first piece of clay. They all planted seeds that didn't grow. They all failed, looked foolish, and felt uncomfortable. The difference is, they were more afraid of dying with their dreams still inside them than they were of failing." That night, Kenji couldn't sleep. The merchant's words echoed through his mind. The next morning, before the sun rose, he did something he'd never done before. He started, not perfectly, not grandly. He simply pressed his hands into clay. It was terrible, misshapen, ugly, and it was the most beautiful thing he'd ever created, because it was real. Years later, Kenji became known not for his potential, but for his pottery, not for his dreams, but for his discipline. When young people asked his secret, he would smile and say, "I learned that ambition without action is just entertainment, and I got bored of entertaining myself." So if you've been calling yourself ambitious but lazy, maybe it's time to ask a different question. Are you truly ambitious, or are you comfortably afraid? Because once you realize that laziness is often fear in disguise, everything changes. The question isn't whether you're capable, it's whether you're willing to be uncomfortable, to be imperfect, to ruin some clay on your way to creating something real. Your dreams are waiting, but they're not under that tree. What will you create today?